Chris Santiago with MMA On. Today I'm here joined by top prospect Jose, no way Jose Johnson. Jose, how's it going today?
Pretty good, man. Just blessed.
Awesome, man. Hey, your last fight, I caught you cage side, after that 12-second knockout. We're a couple months removed from that, but how does the win feel? Like, how does it feel now?
Oh, man, it just feels good. I'm just ready to get on to the next. I know that it put me in a really solid position, especially from not that fight, but the fight before then, especially, defeating an undefeated guy who's, a high level prospect. That just made me feel really good. And then that one was personal. The last fight was personal. So that, of course, felt good to get that over. And I thought it was 12 seconds, but it was actually 10.
Oh, it's 10. Wow.
It was 10.
Awesome, man. And obviously, I feel like there's like a lot of tension going into that fight. You said that you've never wanted to break somebody's face as much as you did with his.
Never.
What came with that? Was it like a trash talk that he was sending you in messages, or like what stemmed from that?
It wasn't trash talking messages. It was he didn't even remember me. So he met me like I think it was like 4 years prior to that at the same exact place, same exact event center in Humble at the Civic Center, everything like same exact place. And he literally like made threats towards my family, like on some street stuff, like how he was like, "Don't see me in the streets." And but I don't take that kind of stuff lightly because I used to be that person, and I changed my life now. I'm living differently. So like it triggered me, and I told him I was going to see him in the future. And he said, "You're not going to see me in the future because where you're trying to get to, I'm already at. I'm fighting for the Ultimate Fighter soon, and you're trying to get there." Well, according to Tapology, I was ranked higher than him at that time. I still am, but at that time I was still ranked higher than him. And he asked for the fight, which really surprised me. But he asked for the fight at a higher weight class. Because usually we fight at 135. He asked for 45. I was like, "Oh, you being lazy. Okay. That means you're not really taking this seriously. I'm going to make you take this seriously." So.
Was that the most like satisfaction, Mary? Like, what did you get the most satisfaction out of any win? Like, was that the masterpiece of I mean, obviously the next fight's always the biggest one. Did you get the most satisfaction of that fight from any other fights in your career?
It was in the top two. It was definitely in the top two. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
How did you celebrate?
He said, "How did I celebrate?"
Yeah, and over there in
Man,
Houston.
I got drunk. Did my girl got drunk? Yep. Sure did. Actually just really spent it with like my team. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fairly new to this team, and this is only my second fight with them. And already in my second fight, I've done and shown more progression in my last two fights with them than I have in any of my other fights, to be honest. It just feels really good to get my head back, focused and on track. And I can finally be the fighter I know I am.
And it's 2 wins in a row for No Way Jose. One win being over a Contender Series guy, one win being over the Ultimate Fighter guy. What's next for you? Who and what's next for you?
Man, I don't care who. I just know it's either gonna be the Contender Series or it's gonna be the UFC. I'm thinking the UFC because I talk to my manager all the time, Jason House at Iridium, and he's telling me like, stay ready, keep my weight low, and my weight's low right now. So I just want to keep it that way, stay focused, and be ready.
And what was the weight class for your last fight? Was it bantamweight or featherweight?
My last fight was at featherweight, and then the one before then was at bantamweight.
Gotcha. So do you have like a preference in terms of, I mean, obviously you don't want to cut too much weight up, but do you have a preference when you get to the UFC, what weight class it will be at?
I want to start at 135 and see what it's like, but eventually, I'm going to get older, put on some more muscle. I would like to go up to 45. I still felt comfortable at 45. Obviously I still had the power because he's never been knocked out before. So, I mean, yeah, I like 45 too.
I mean, man, that was just such an incredible knockout. I was actually I was pulling out my camera to take some photos of you. Then I blinked and I missed the knockout. So like 1 second, 1 second the next, the guy's laying on the canvas, you're celebrating. So like, what was the post fight feeling, and what was the energy? What was the vibe of the crowd like on that night?
Oh man, the crowd was the crowd was amazing, man. Because I love the people who he brought there,
Hmm.
um, and they were so confident in him, and I loved it. I loved it. I'm like you guys are confident in your boy, but I can see it in his face. He's not even confident in himself. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes, and there's like I posted on Instagram, and I posted specifically me and his corner arguing before he got into the cage. And I captioned it like, "You just let your corners talk you into a body bag
Hmm.
because you were not prepared for this. They were more prepared for you for this than you were." And the energy just from everybody was amazing. Especially afterwards, it was people telling me how they were from Michigan too, and I'm from Detroit. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. It's cool. It's pretty dope.
For sure. And I feel like he crossed some lines with the trash talk, but do you think there's a line to be crossed? I mean, it is the fight game, but again, with Colby Covington saying stuff about Jorge Masvidal, like, what are your 2 cents on that situation? And do you think there's a line to be crossed in terms of trash talk?
Man, I'm gonna let you know something right now. I don't really be like feeding too much into like the whole media stuff like that. But for what I've seen, when you talk about somebody's like significant other, their wife, their kids, their religion, that kind of stuff, like yeah, that's a no-go. Like that should be a no-go. Those are legit innocent things, like things that. But if you talk about somebody's style of fighting being trash or something like that, like yeah, that's fair game. I'm saying, like, and Perry, he didn't like go over a line of trash talk with me. It was that I feel like he didn't put the work in for him to trash talk as much as he trash talks.
Hmm.
Like if you up there, you know what I'm saying? Like you like literally have starched some really solid dudes or something like that, and then you over here like, oh, you're a nobody, and it's like, okay, sir. Well, I only have 12 knockouts. Like, and all my opponents have winning records.
Hmm.
And all my opponents have winning records. He's taken some fights against some questionable people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Hmm. And speaking about talking about family, I'm sure you watched the Oscars thing already with Will Smith and Chris Rock. He brought up his wife, and Slap was heard around the world. What'd you think about that event?
Uh, so me and my girl woke up this morning and I seen like a meme on it, and me and her was talking for a little bit about it. And honestly, man, I feel like this is how it went. Like he was sitting there because you watched the video. Chris Rock made his joke. You look at you, they pointed the camera towards Will. Will's laughing at the joke. Jada's not. Okay, so you look up. He looks over at Jada, and Jada's like, "Yeah, it's not funny, bro." And at that point, as a man, okay, I don't know if you got a significant other, my brother, but like if I'm there with my girl and then someone says something and it bothers her, especially from their past, I think the only thing that he was thinking, like, I'd rather not disappoint this woman again in my life. So, you know what? Somebody getting slapped today. Walk, slaps him. Hey, keep my wife's name out your mouth. I mean, when you talk about somebody's family like that, you don't know how mentally stable somebody is or not. Like where I come from in the hood, it would have happened the same way.
Mhm.
it,
I just hope Dana White makes that fight in the UFC. I think it would be sell a lot of pay-per-views. But
man,
if
selling
Jose
pay-per-view.
Johnson, oh, go on.
Oh, selling a lot of pay-per-views is an understatement.
Mhm.
That thing will be that'd be colossal. Be hilarious
Massive.
too.
Yeah, if Jose Johnson had to fight a celebrity inside the cage, who would it be?
Um, a celebrity, a celebrity. I would love to fight Jake Paul for two reasons. I like the guy. I do. I do. He markets himself very well. He defends us when it comes to us getting more money I get that. I respect that. However, I think your skill level is nowhere near the same as your mouth. So like, it's the same thing with Perry. You know, it's the same exact thing with Perry. Perry talked himself into a body bag. Eventually, Jake Paul is going to fight the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to be looking for a payday. So they're not going to take a dive.
Do you think Woodley was a dive?
I think the first one was.
The Askren one or the first fight with Woodley?
The first Jake Paul's first fight with with Woodley, because they fought twice, right?
Yeah, they fought twice. The first one went to decision, and the second one was round 6 knockout.
First one was definitely a dive. It was a terrible fight to watch. They just threw 2 punches the whole time. It was awful. The second time, you know, you could tell he was like, yeah, like, this is my pride on the line now. And thought the punch was coming high or going low, and brought his elbow down to his ribs and snuck it back up top. And that's all she wrote. What happens?
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. And there's another discussion going on in the MMA community, like you're talking about like a UFC movie. I know you're not in the UFC, but if you had to have an actor play yourself in the movie, who would the actor be?
Oh, maybe Chris Rock. No, just enemy. Golly. Yo, honestly, I'm not as big as the dude, but I would love for Michael J. White to play me.
Nice.
I like his style. I dig how like quiet he is, but he'll like mess you up at the same time. I don't know. He's just mysterious, man. He got a gap, you know. He's a funny dude, funny guy.
Mm-hmm. And I know you're big into anime. Are you a fan of Attack on Titan by any chance?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow, you haven't seen any episode of that?
I have not. I've had like 4 people now tell me like you need to, and I'm like, I really am on like Boruto right now. Like,
mm-hmm.
That's my stuff right now.
Gotcha. What else are you watching right now? Like besides the anime, like any TV shows, any movies that you're keeping up with right now?
So me and my girl are actually about to start Harry Potter. I've never seen Harry Potter.
Whoa, that's
never,
wow.
Never. I know. Everybody's been telling me like, what are you doing with your life? I'm like, only thing I know about Harry Potter is Quidditch, and I know like people who actually play it. Like, don't know how that's possible, but it looks fun as heck. You know, I'm down for anything. So we're gonna start watching that and see how that goes. It's gonna be something new. But other than that, I usually just play the game. Usually on Call of Duty most of the time.
Nice. PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox, brother.
I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. Awesome, man. Well, like, besides, like, obviously you're waiting for that UFC call. You're anytime, anywhere kind of fighter, short notice, long notice, whatever the case may be, you're waiting for that call. But if the call never comes in this year, well, what's next for Jose Johnson?
I'll be back at Fury. Yep.
Do you have a certain time frame?
Any time frame. No time frame. Just if we don't hear anything by the summer, then it's just keeping that ball rolling. You know, you don't want to sit too long because you get shelved, and then there's other people who are active. You get put behind. So you gotta continue to remain active.
Mm-hmm. You gotta make yourself undeniable to that call. But should you get to the UFC, whether it be 135, 145, is there any dream fights for you in those divisions?
Corey Sandhagen. 135. Nice. That would be a beautiful fight. I would love that fight.
Is there
last fight? Mm-hmm. That last fight that he had with I think it was with Peter Yan. Man, it was crazy. It was a dog fight. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. And final question for you. I got to ask you your prediction for Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. How do you see that fight playing out?
Illegally.
Hope not.
Dog joking. I think I think he's worked a lot on his wrestling, and we clearly see that that's what Aljo wants to do. So I think he's gonna stuff a takedown. I think he's gonna finish him in a second. Hold me to my
Ooh,
prediction. I think finish him in a second.
awesome. Well, thanks so much, Jose, for the time. Is there anything that you want to say to your fans out there watching?
Nothing other than you can follow me on Instagram at Platano_Pride95. That's PLATONO TANO. My apologies. _Pride 95.